Hi everybody, it is Deanna Nichols, doTERRA Blue Diamond. I'm here with your weekly Essential Oils Are Not Magic Beans event. Today is Sunday, I think it's the 24th, and we are just a few minutes short of going live officially. So we were just hanging out here for probably about another 30 to 60 seconds. So if you're watching and you're watching the replay, welcome to my YouTube channel. And we do go live on facebook.com/oilshares every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you're a live guest, there's a drawing every week for a free essential oil roller bottle remedy. So if you're watching the replay, that's awesome. But if you want to watch us live, you can win stuff. Welcome Tasha, welcome Michelle. Two of my friends are here. So tonight's going to be really fun. It's going to be a little bit different than what we do normally. We're going to be talking about how essential oils are a lot more fun when you do them with a friend. And the thing that makes doTERRA unique from other essential oils, well, there's lots of things. Of course, we're the #1 essential oil company in the world, and 86% of our oils, I guess closer to 90% of our oils now, are exclusive to doTERRA, meaning nobody else can get their hands on what we have. So that makes us the best in the world, of course. 80% of essential oils are adulterated, so it's really important to know where they're coming from. But the other really, really awesome thing that we do really well at doTERRA is we form communities of people that help each other with our oil experiences, and that's how we learn. And you usually are brought into doTERRA and introduced to doTERRA by a friend of yours. And sometimes I have actually made friends, and as a result of that, but most of the time it's the other way around. It's usually a friend, and so it's pretty cool to do essential oils with a friend, because for a lot of people, it's like a new thing that you didn't know about before, and you don't know really exactly what you're doing. And so it just helps to know that you're not alone and you have somebody else out there on the journey with you. And even if they've been doing it a little bit longer than you, then they can probably warn you away from some of the mistakes that they've made. And I think we've all been there. If we've had any experience at all with the oils, we've all made some mistakes, and we're like, I should probably tell somebody, hey, don't do that. So we're going to do a couple of super fun things. Number one, anytime that I say the word friend, I want you to hit the heart button, okay? So instead of hitting the like, you're going to hit the heart button and give us lots of hearts when we say the word friend, because that's kind of like our key theme for tonight is friends, okay? And the other thing is every week on Magic Beans, we give away a free rollerball remedy to somebody who's a guest. And we're still going to do that tonight. So if you're a guest and you are not a member of doTERRA on anybody's team, then please comment that you're a guest. But it's super important that you tag the person that invited you, because every single person who's a doTERRA member on my team, OilShares, that invited a friend that's not a doTERRA member, they're going to automatically get a free roller bottle remedy. So help out your friend if they invited you, make sure you tag them, and then you'll be entered into a drawing to win one also. So every single person on my team that brought a friend, I'm going to share a roller bottle remedy with you tonight. So make sure that you tell your friend, like, hey, don't forget to say I'm a guest of, and then tag me, so that so that you guys can both have a chance to win. So we really want to emphasize and reward people that brought a friend tonight, okay? The reason why I feel that way about rewarding people who share doTERRA is because of my personal story. You can watch more about that on my YouTube channel, which is Deanna Nichols, and you can go to like the About Deanna section, and there's a 10-minute video there that tells my story about why doTERRA is so important to me and how it's been life-changing for me. But basically what happened is I was really struggling, and a friend of mine, she reached out through social media, through Facebook, and asked if she could share some samples of essential oil with me. And the two essential oils that she shared with me were DigestZen, the digestive blend, and Breathe, the respiratory blend. And these two oils opened up the door to me to a whole new world of natural solutions, and it was life-changing. In the course of 18 months, I completely turned my life around, and I'm just really here because a friend cared about me and asked me to take a look at some information, try some oils. And so like the change in my life was so drastic that I just really want to encourage you to share with your friends. And the cool thing is that I was really not. I think I was a really challenging situation, really challenging case. So for my friend to be brave enough to share with me when she really had no idea if she could help me or not, I think that was super brave and very compassionate. And so I think it's awesome. So here's what we're going to do tonight. If I want you to, if you're watching and you're a doTERRA member, I want you to tell us a little bit about the friend who shared doTERRA with you and how you got started. Just maybe tag your friend if you can, and just kind of say how they shared with you or how they got you started using oils, using doTERRA oils. So that'll be kind of a really awesome tribute to your friend. The other thing is that if you are one of my friends that I introduced to doTERRA, help me out, okay? Like let's tell some of our stories tonight. You can comment and tell a little bit about some of the ways that we've helped each other along the journey. Some of you guys, like I see Karen on here, Janet, some of you guys have been with me for years on this doTERRA journey, learning about oils, and some of you are newer, like Angela, but they're all very important to me. And so we're going to talk about the oils, but I want you guys to share your stories. So Michelle's done that already. Michelle already shared that Robin Addicts shared essential oils with her for her headaches. And so that is really, really awesome. And thank you, Robin, so much for sharing with Michelle. And so that's perfect that she shared that story. Angela's saying that she used Digestin on her trip. She went on a trip with, I think, a bunch of 12-year-olds. So that right there tells me she needed lots of oils. Awesome, this is great. So Beth is saying that Labriska invited her to an oil class, and that's how she got started with oils. Karen said her daughter Teresa got her hooked on doTERRA. So that's perfect. I love this, you guys. This is great. And this is what makes us stand out in the world of essential oils. Besides the fact that we have the best oils in the world, we build communities. And I don't know if people understand that, like, you can buy essential oils online. You could even buy them. Sometimes you can even find doTERRA on like weird websites where they're not supposed to be. You might be able to find them in a store, but joining and becoming a member is what gets you part of a community, and you will have like thousands of new friends that you didn't have before. So when I started using the oils back in 2011, I was pretty much a recluse. Like, I'm not kidding you. I never really left my house. I was housebound and disabled and just not in a good place emotionally, physically, and financially, any area really of my life. And fast forward just like a little over 5 years later, well, I mean, it's been longer since I've been using the oils, almost 7 years since I started using the oils. About 5.5 years since I started sharing them with other people. And I mean, I literally have like tens of thousands of friends all over the world that I didn't know before. And anywhere I travel in the nation, I have somebody that's part of my doTERRA team, or at least like one of my doTERRA friends that I've gotten to know since I started using the oils. And so it's really awesome to have all these connections. And I don't ever feel like I'm alone in this. Like, I feel that if my family's ever going through something, there's all these people that reach out to me. Karen said, oh yay, Karen said, I went to a class with Deanna and John. Deanna shared lotion with Deep Blue. That's awesome. Thank you for remembering that. I do remember when I met you, I think I was doing a class at a church and Karen just showed up, and that's how we met. And it was awesome because she's been part of our oil family for a really long time. So that's super awesome. Okay, so just if you signed in just now, we're doing 2 different giveaways. The first one is if you are a first-time guest and you, well, who cares if you're a first-time guest? If you're a guest and you're not a member of doTERRA, we want you to comment that you're a guest and tag your inviter, because both of you are going to be entered to win a roller bottle remedy. And we're especially recognizing the people that took the time to invite a friend. So if you invited a friend and you're part of my Oil Shares team, you will automatically get a roller bottle remedy, and your guest will be entered into a drawing to win. So make sure that you nudge your friend and say, hey man, you're a guest, and make sure you tag me. Don't just say I'm a guest. If nobody specific invited you, then you can go ahead and be my guest tonight. You can just say you're a guest of Deanna or a guest of the page. And I won't give myself a free roller bottle remedy, but I will enter you in the drawing, okay? Angela said, my neighbor Janet introduced me to doTERRA. Yay for neighbors. That's so awesome. Share with your neighbors, share with your friends, share with strangers that show up. Just share with everybody. Amanda is a guest of Angela's. So look at that. So Janet shared with Angela. Angela's paying it forward to Amanda. And so what would be even better is if Amanda would hit her share button right now and tell everybody she's watching, and then she could have a guest on here too. That would just be totally perfect. Okay. What we're going to talk about is just some of our favorite experiences where the oils helped us, and how like maybe a friend told us something we didn't know about the oils. So share your stories of how like maybe a friend shared an oil with you, or you read one of our stories on our members only Facebook group and it really helped you through something. Or maybe it's not oil related, but it's community related. Like here's an example for me, is that my dad had a heart attack last June, and he was 3 hours away from home. And so he was at a hospital where it was in an area where we didn't know anybody and we didn't like know the area. Yay, Kendra, for introducing Dawn. Welcome, Missy. And so, I don't know. I think if you scroll, I don't know, there's like a button. Who remembers how to share? I forget. I feel like there's a button that you can click. I'm scared to do it because I don't want to mess it up. But I think there might be a button at the bottom where you can tell your friends that you're watching this. If somebody knows, can they please let Amanda know? Where was I? Oh, and so my dad was at this hospital, and we didn't know anybody in the area, and we were like really just kind of living at the hospital, all my family. And all of a sudden, like all these people started showing up with food and money and like everything. What's the share button look like, Angela? Hit the white share button on the bottom of the screen. Okay, yay, Amanda. Okay. And so people from all in that area of Ohio started showing up to serve my family, and I started asking. Some of them I didn't know who they were. Some of them drove like an hour, and they were all part of my doTERRA family, but some of them I had never even met before. And that's just like the power of what it's like to do doTERRA with a friend. And so the other thing is that when I first started using the oils, I didn't know what I was doing. I had a top 10 kit of oils, and that's what my friend told me to get. But I didn't know anybody who used the oils, and I didn't know what to do with them. So she added me to a Facebook group for members of her team, and I was going through some really big stuff at the time, and I was in Florida, and pretty much everybody was in Virginia that was in this group. But they were so kind to me, and they like were praying for me and giving me advice and just really encouraging me during a time when like my whole life was falling apart. Like we lost our home to mold, and like we had to throw our furniture away, and I was really struggling with my health. And these people were like just friends, and they didn't even really know me. So I just always felt part of a family. And I just decided when I started sharing doTERRA with people that I wanted to make sure that they felt like they were part of the family too. And that's why it's so important. So we do stuff like we have a Facebook group, like just like I had, where you can share your stories and ask your questions. If you're a member, you also get to be on our phone calls. We have phone calls on Monday night, and we let you invite a guest so they can take a sneak peek and find out what it's like to be part of our community. But our members will get on there and greet their new members and share their tips and stories, and it's really helpful. So one of the things that happened was a few years ago, remember, this is my call, like I'm the leader and this is my call. And I was having this call, and some lady got on there and shared about how she was struggling with this issue with her nerves, and she was going to like a mission trip somewhere, like in the jungle somewhere, and she was worried that she was going to be in a lot of discomfort while she was gone. And it was like, I don't know, it was like something that was attacking her nerves, and it was very painful, and issues with her skin. And someone recommended the Immortelle blend. I don't have it right in front of me, but it comes in a roller, and it's designed for like, to reduce the appearance of lines and wrinkles on the face. But she shared about how she realized that the oils in that blend were really good for nerves. And so she shared it with her friend that was going on the mission trip, and she had fantastic results. Well, like 6 months later, I gave birth to my son, and I woke up in the morning and like I couldn't move the entire side of my face. And I have like a really awesome oil book that I can look stuff up in, and I used all the oils that were in there, and it really wasn't helping, and I was getting really frustrated. And then somebody told me that the thing with my face was related to the issue that the lady had with her nerves. And I was like, so I should try Immortelle. So I'm not kidding you. I tried Immortelle. I put it like along my jaw and on the back of my neck, And within 12 hours, I started getting the feeling back in my face. And like in 3 days, it was totally cleared up. And so I realized that day the power of our stories, like sharing our stories with people. And that was like not one of my friends even. It was just like one of my oily friends that shared that story. And it made such a huge difference. I mean, I couldn't hold my son because I couldn't see. And my eye was really bothering me. I had pain in my ear. I was just having a really hard time as a new mom, and that really helped me to be able to clear that up. So if you have a story like that of where somebody like in part of your oil community either shared an oil or shared a story that helped you, or they just helped you through a tough time, share it below so people can understand the power of doing oils with a friend, okay? So I also find that the oils themselves have become my friends too. That might sound really weird. But like there's certain days like today, I'm kind of struggling today. I'll be really honest with you. Like about 30 minutes before it was time to get on here, I was like, really? Do I want to do this? I'm just struggling like with some hormone stuff today and just not feeling well. I spent most of the day kind of just like lying down. And so I will tell you like two of my BFFs today have been Whisper, which we call it the blend for women. But I'll tell you sometimes when, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when it's like the beginning of my cycle or whatever, or it's getting ready to be, I just get like, I feel like I have all this tightness in my lower neck and in my shoulders. And so I learned to rub Whisper into the shoulder muscles and on the back of my neck, and it really helps. And then of course Clary Calm is always good. I even used Clary Sage and like all the oils today, Neroli, just because it was just one of those days. And so I feel like the oils are comforting to me as well as my friends too. Let me see if I've missed any questions or stories. Let's see. My friend Rhonda, this is Jackie. My friend Rhonda shared balance with me to help with my anxious thoughts. That's fantastic. Let's see. And you guys are helping right now, helping that somebody find out how to share the video. Kendra introduced me to oils. Let's see. I already passed that. I think I'm caught up pretty well. Let me go down here and see. Hi, Mom. My mom's on here. My mom is actually my friend, and she helps me a lot with oil recommendations. It's so funny. Like, I'm the one that introduced my mom to oils, but it's weird how, like, you can be going through something or not feeling well, and, like, just everything is gone out of your head. Like, you just can't remember how to do anything, or you forget to use the oils. And then you have these people in your life that are like, hello, have you tried such and such? And that's kind of how my mom is. She's really helpful. Let's see. Terry said that she's a guest of Maria Santa Lucia, so all the way out in Alaska. So thank you so much, Maria, for sharing doTERRA with your friend too. So one of the things that I also learned from my friends is I learned that we have these really cool emotional aromatherapy oils, and this oil called Peace is really, really fantastic for helping you to say the things that you want to say. And I was really going through a tough time when I learned this information. I was just feeling really attacked and feeling like I was just sort of feeling like a victim at that particular time in my life. And when this oil came out, I had heard somebody explain that this was a really good one to put over your throat to help you say the things that you needed to say. And so we started making a daily habit of putting Peace oil over our throat. I actually prefer to use the roller. So the emotional aromatherapy oils come like this, so you can put them in a diffuser. This is one of our diffusers. This one comes with the Home Essentials kit. But they also come in touch rollers like this. And those are a lot easier to apply. And so like I'll apply, I know that's not really Peace, but let's pretend, and I'll apply it over my throat. Well, I was so glad that I learned that information about where to apply Peace, because then I realized as my son got a little bit older that he was really struggling with speech, and there were only just like 5 or 6 words that he could really say, and he struggled a lot, and he would get really frustrated because he couldn't communicate with us about what he needed, and I would get frustrated and he would get frustrated, and we just had so much tension and anxiety in our home over the fact that we were having a breakdown in communication. And it occurred to me, because somebody had told me to put the Peace over my throat, it occurred to me that maybe he had some things he needed to say that he just couldn't say. And so we started putting, oh gosh, I think I'm gonna get emotional. We started putting the Peace over his throat. He was like almost 3. And it was only like about 2 weeks, a 2 week period of time. And he really started saying like full sentences. I'll never forget, we came home one night and it was really dark and there were no lights on. And all of a sudden, this kid who said like one word every few hours said, I can't see. And my husband and I just looked at each other like, what just happened? And next thing you know, he was saying like dinosaur and all these big words. And I just felt like somehow we had unlocked something for him. And I cannot tell you like how much the tension in our home went down. I mean, I was struggling every single day as a mom, feeling like I didn't know how to help my son. I didn't know why he was upset. And all of a sudden, like he became this different kid. He was so much happier and I was so much calmer because we could communicate. Good grief. Okay. I need like console or something. Hold on a second. Console oil is the one I need. Hold on. Okay. And so that's just something that I'm not sure that I would have thought to do if it wasn't for my friends sharing with me how they were using the oils. And I know Janet is a really, really good friend of mine. Janet has been extremely supportive of me and my family as we've gone through lots of difficult things over the years that she's known us. I think Janet has helped us move into like at least 2 of our homes. It feels like whenever we move, like Janet and Danny were always there helping us just with everything. And just very recently, Danny passed away suddenly. And we've all been very sad and we've really, really missed him. And I know how Janet has told me that it's really helped her to be so connected to all of you guys that use the oils, all of you people that are in oil shares and everybody that's reached out to her. And I know that some time has passed, and that's usually when other people go back to their routine and go back to their everyday life. And it's hardest on the person who's lost somebody at that point because everyone else has sort of moved on. And so if you are in the Jacksonville area and you're part of our oil shares team, please reach out, include Janet in some of your things and your activities, and let her know that she's loved. But that's like one of the things that we do when you're an oil shares member. Like you have this whole extended family. A few years ago on our team, one of my friends lost her 4-year-old son suddenly. And I remember her telling me that like she was getting packages from all over the country with oils from people she did not even know. And the really cool thing is doTERRA, when you're a wholesale member of doTERRA, you get to do this thing called the rewards program. And every time you purchase, you get free product rewards. And you can save up your rewards and then cash them in for free products. Well, people were cashing in their rewards and sending her oils for grief and trauma and just like to help her sleep and all that stuff. And it was just coming from everywhere. And she had like piles and piles of packages. And that's like why you do essential oils with a friend right there, is because you just never know when you're going to need each other. And it's just such a beautiful way of creating a community. And yeah, Angela, actually, I'm glad you brought that up, Angela. So Angela said that Console helped her with a death. Angela was already on my doTERRA team, but we didn't know each other. And then a friend of ours died a couple years ago. And through her death, like we were both mutual friends of hers. And so we kind of became friends. And then over the course of like the next year, we got much closer and started talking about the oils. And now she's one of my top leaders on my team. And it's been wonderful to have her not only as a friend, but a business partner, and to just have her part of my life regularly now. And that was just like a beautiful thing that happened. And the oils kind of brought us together through our friend too. And our friend that we lost was an oiler, and she became really dependent on the oils for a lot of things in about the last year and a half or so before she passed away. And so she talked a lot about the oils and encouraged Angela to use them and stuff. And so it was just a really wonderful thing that we were both grieving, but we found each other, and we were already on the same doTERRA team. So very, very cool. Yes, and Karen lost her dad a little while ago too, and so Console and Peace has really helped her. And Breathe. Breathe is a fantastic oil. I cannot tell you how many times I've used this for things that weren't necessarily respiratory, but emotional. Like when you're just like feeling that you're not able to get your breath because there's heaviness, like just something heavy that's on your heart. Breathe can really help, and inhaling it is a great way to go about that. My other mommy's here. Sharon, John's mom, is here too. She's my friend. Let's see. Love you, Janet. Rhonda sent Console to Karen when her dad passed away. Rhonda is Karen's like upline person, but she's part of her team in doTERRA, and she reached out and sent her Console. So that's just kind of what we do in this business. That's really awesome. Let's see, what else have I learned from friends that has been super helpful? Oh, so like whenever I was when I've been helping a lot of people and giving them oil solutions for a long time, and a couple months ago, this thing happened that I was like, I never would have thought it would have happened to me. And I had never experienced it before. It's where like my son and I, my little son, I think it happened, we went to the Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral, and there was just like a zillion kids and they were all touching stuff and whatever. And I think that's kind of what happened is he picked up some cooties, and we both started getting these like blisters around our mouth and in other places on our body. And I don't know how it occurred to me that it might not just be like two separate things. But I remember asking in our secret Facebook group, and everybody was like, oh yeah, you need to use Arbor Vitae and you need to put Correctex on those sores that you're getting. I don't have Correctex in front of me, but it's like the salve that we have that has essential oils in it. And it was incredible like how quickly those sores got better from using Correctex. And I mean, I kind of like knew that, but I forgot because I had never dealt with that particular form of cooties before. And so even when you like know everything about the oils, it's just really helpful. Sorry, my eyes, I'm sweating from my eyes a little bit still from some of these stories. My mother-in-law is talking about how one of her daughter had a kid in her high school that she was teaching at that actually committed suicide. And Console was the oil that really helped her as she was dealing with losing her student. And so that is a really important oil. Make sure you guys know about that. And it's such a powerful one to share when people are grieving, Console. I love all of our emotional aromatherapy oils, honestly. Okay, so tell me some more stories about like what you've learned from your friends. Looks like Michelle's got lots of guests on here. Terry said, I plan on using lots of these oils to recover from my open heart surgery. Yeah, and you can reach out if you want, Terry, because my dad just went through that, and my mom's on here. My mom and I used a lot of oils on him, so we can share with you. I know that one of the most important oils that we used was Immortelle to help with all of his like surgical scarred areas and everything. All right, so I'm trying to look at the time and see how much time we have left. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about another thing, and a friend introduced me to this product, and that friend is actually my husband. And it's funny because he really wasn't the biggest essential oil user at the time. He was sort of just like supporting me because I was getting such great results with them. And but I had this thing called the Lifelong Vitality Pack, and it came in a kit that I had purchased, but I didn't think that I needed supplements because I was eating super, super healthy, and I was taking like some really high quality supplements, and I just didn't think that I needed these. So they were sitting on our kitchen bar in our kitchen, and I just like wasn't using them. And he kept on saying like, are you ever going to take these things? And I'm like, no, doTERRA is an essential oil company. They need to like stay in their wheelhouse because they don't know about supplements. And I didn't know what I was talking about. So he's like, well, I might as well take them then because like we've already paid for them and whatever. And so I'm like, okay, because I was thinking, like he doesn't really eat super healthy. And so I figured, he really needs these worse than me. So I'm just going to let him take them. So he started taking them. And those things that have those boxes where you put your pills in them for every day of the week. He got himself one of those and he put his pills in there, and I'm thinking, okay, let's see if he really follows through with this. And I didn't really think much about it until about probably 3 weeks later. I was walking through the area where the kitchen bar was, and I looked down and saw his pill container, and I saw that all the spots were empty except for the past 3 days, like the previous 3 days. And I thought to myself, and I'm like, well, what I suddenly realized is that for the previous 3 weeks, he had been complaining so much less about like his his shoulders and his back and his neck bothering him. He was coming home he did physical labor, and he would come home from work and he would normally just crash and go right to bed, and he was staying up later and he was in a better mood and just all this stuff where he just seemed like a different person. And then for the past couple of days, he was like back to his old self. And I didn't know what had shifted till I saw that he missed 3 days of his lifelong vitality. And I was like, holy smokes, if it makes that much difference and I can tell in 3 days that he stopped, I need to be taking these. So I walked over to him and I was like, hey, did you forget to take your supplements for a few days? He's like, yeah, I misplaced my little pill thing and I forgot. And I was like, you so need to take those. And so I started taking them, and I really didn't think they did much until then. I forgot to take them for a few days, and then I was like, oh. So I think like what I've noticed over the years is people have like something that's bothering them that they want to feel less of, or they want to feel more of, and they use oils for it, and oils will help and they'll make you feel better. They really will, because they work on so many levels, like emotionally, physically, everything, and they smell great, so they make your brain feel better. But when people really see a huge change is when they start taking the Lifelong Vitality Pack, like 100% of the time. And one of two things happens: either in the first few days they say like, holy crap, these work so well, or they're like, I don't really notice, and then they kind of stop taking them. And then after 2 or 3 days, they're always like, oh my gosh, I did not realize what they were doing for me. So I usually see one of two things. They come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So like you can literally take them all for 30 days and then I'm back. There actually are 9 essential oils in the supplement. And so they actually technically are essential oils too. But if you are a guest and you are not a doTERRA member, what you can do is you can do the same thing the rest of us did, is you can choose a starter kit. I really recommend you look at the Home Essentials kit. It has the top 10 most commonly used oils plus a free diffuser. And that gives you a free doTERRA membership, which gives you 25% off of the retail prices. It allows you to use that rewards program I was telling you about, where everybody got all that free stuff that they shared with my friend who lost her son. It gives you free shipping rewards. You get a free product of the month if you order by the 15th. It is wonderful. But if you sign up with a starter kit in June and then you place an order in July, they automatically include these, which is over $100 in value. The cool thing is when you go to order them the next time, because you will, after you try your free ones, you're going to want to buy them. And I'm going to teach you a way that you can actually get them for almost half price. So that's just a really, really awesome deal. And not many people start out with these because they're like really focusing on the oils because they smell nice and whatever. But the people that start out on these, I feel like you're going to get such a better result from your oils, because good health starts on the foundation of healthy nutrition. And so I feel like this is really going to help fill in the gaps in your nutrition. And so I want you to have the chance to try these for 30 days. So if you contact the friend who cared about you enough to invite you to this video, if it's my page, if it's me, send me a private message. I'll send you some photos to look at of a couple of our different starter kits, and you'll find something that'll fit your budget and your needs. And then I'll help you set that up. And if it's one of your friends who invited you, they'll help you set it up. And we'll make sure that you find out how you can order again next month so you can get your Lifelong Vitality Pack for free. It is a great deal. Fantastic deal. Okay. So before I sign off, I want to remind you, if you're a first-time guest, or if you're a guest and you're not enrolled in doTERRA, you don't have a doTERRA membership, make sure you comment, I am a guest of, and tag your inviter, because you will be entered into a drawing to win a free roller bottle, and your person who invited you, your friend who cared about you, they're going to automatically get a free roller bottle remedy, because we're celebrating friends sharing doTERRA with other friends tonight. So make sure that you comment and do your friend a solid and tag them so that they can get their free gift, and then maybe you'll win too. Okay. So thank you so much for being here. We will be back here again next Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, every week, 30 minutes. You don't have to wear pants. That I have to wear pants, kind of, but but you don't. You can just watch and enjoy and learn. And don't forget, bring a friend with you. Essential oils are so much more fun with a friend. I mean, if you run out of an oil, who are you going to borrow it from? Well, if you share doTERRA with somebody, you'll always have a friend that you can borrow an oil from when you run out. So that's another thing. Well, thank you for being here, and check out the replay over on YouTube. And there's 2 years worth of Magic Beans replays over on YouTube at Deanna Nichols. Check it out. Check out my doTERRA story. See you back here next week. Shine on.